Good morning, everybody. TGIF. I'm so excited about this weekend, 3-day weekend. Ribs, pasta salads, potato salad. Now, not the potato salad that Candace Wells was feeding to the feral cats and rabies-ridden raccoons. I make my own. It is very good. It is very good. Okay. You know, hamburgers, hot dogs, and football. Oh, yes. Yes. We got football all weekend. My goodness. Oh, Kat said, I've shit better looking food than Candace cooks. I'm actually working on a recipe book of different cuisines Candace has mentioned on various channels. Every one of them make me want to barf. But, you know, there's a flavor for everybody. You know what I mean? True Crime Beat said we are having hot dogs on Monday and pool time. That is what I am. Hold on. Hot dogs are vegan? True Crime Beat. Do you get a cheat day on Labor Day? Hot dogs are lips and assholes. That's not vegan. Oh, two Boston moms said, I put bacon in my potato salad. Ooh. You know what? I'm going to send you this recipe, and it's a broccoli salad. All right, so you fry all your bacon. Okay, you want that bacon good and crispy. You don't want it medium rare like OJ eats. And then you chop up fresh broccoli. Don't use frozen, nothing like that. Fresh broccoli. And then you crumble cornbread in with it. You're going to put in all your bacon, a little bit of mayo, shredded cheese, and then it sounds nasty, but it's not. That hot bacon grease goes over the top, and you stir and you stir and you stir and you stir it. Let me tell you what, there is not a bite left. It is so good. Like right there, Crime Time Connie. I love broccoli salad. And she makes one of the most amazing dips. It's cream cheese and sausage. I need to find it, and I'll send it to you if you want it. Woo, it is good. I will send that to you too, Boston moms. We got birthdays galore. Look at this. Jinbug heading off to vacay to celebrate her daughter's 19th birthday. Woo, Jinbug, where are you going? Where are you going? Jinbug's always on vacation. I need to hang with Jinbug more. Jinbug more. Melanie's having a birthday. Shonda, it's her birthday weekend. How fun. Birthday blessings all around from OJ. Let's all sing happy birthday to our friends that are celebrating this weekend.
It's your birthday today. It's your birthday today. There's a cat licking your birthday cake. It's your birthday today. It's your birthday today. It's your birthday today. There's a cat licking your birthday cake. It's your birthday today.
Lots of Virgos, not virgins, lots of Virgos. Wait till next month. I don't know what it is about September. I'm just assuming that there's a lot of horny people in December because September, I'm telling you, every day somebody has a birthday. September is our busiest birthday month. Guitar Man, his birthday is on Sunday. We cannot forget Crime Time Connie. We have more birthdays. We are not forgetting our birthdays. M. Greenlaw said October babies were conceived on Valentine's Day. Yes, I have a son that's living proof of that. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Now, what are you doing, Crime Time Connie, giving me a super sticker? I should be doing something for you. It's your birthday this weekend. We got lots of birthdays this weekend. I'm losing count. Jinbug's daughter, Melanie, Melanie's twin brother, Connie, Guitar Man. Every day's Kimberly Mann's birthday. Who else is having a birthday this weekend? Woo! Big T said September birthdays around here are called Med Cruise babies. What the hell does that mean? Big T, what's a Med Cruise baby? I have to know this. I have to know this. Two Boston Mom says, I'm an October baby. Libra. I see that. I see that. Melanie, thank you. She said, I'm 2 years and 1 day older than my brother. Okay. So when I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. Melanie does not have a twin, but it sounds better when I say Melanie and her twin brother. So I'm just going to stick with that. Okay. All right, everyone. Let's tell everybody good morning and get to it. Shonda said, these are not images I prefer of my parents. Does anybody have PTSD from hearing their parents getting it on? Uh-huh. We were having Thanksgiving, whole families around the table, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, you name it. And out of the blue, my dad goes, girls, he's just talking to me and my sister. Do you know what your mother and I did last night? Well, we both about barfed because we heard the whole, oh, Robert, you're still the best. And I was like, God, would they stop? They're so disgusting. I'm going to sleep outside. Their mating calls are pissing me off. And we both were like, yeah, we heard. Okay. And my sister, little girl at the time, goes, oh, Robert. And everybody is dying laughing. My dad goes, you two assholes. He said, what? He goes, your mother and I had to call a person in Egypt for a real estate deal. And I'm like, well, then don't ask us. Guess what we did after that nastiness was going on last night? You sickos. You sickos. Susan said, talk to me when your in-laws walk in on you. Woo! Ooh, I couldn't imagine. Tell you what. We've had some crazy conversations this week. Talked about the best place to get pop at different fast food stores. Talk about people's favorite tastes in alcohol. Of course, we're always having a food discussion. And then yesterday on the other channel, we learned a lot of things about True Crime Beat. And we learned a lot of things about Pat. It was a hilarious show. A hilarious show. All right, I'm going to get to your comments from the last show about Emanuel, because old Jake is, he thinks he's dealing from the bottom of the deck. He really does. He seems to think he's outsmarting everybody. What I don't understand is why there is any arguing in this case. I see a lot of finger pointing, a lot of Brian Enton lied, On the Tira lied, Hidden True Crime lied. All these people lied. Collectively put our heads together and remember, they aren't lying. Jake is the liar. We're going to talk about that today. Linda Thomas, 9272, said, I wish they would put him in prison for life, open up Alcatraz so he can never escape. Yes. Let's bring back actual punishment for these people. All right? State of California seems to have a shit load of money. They just can't find water for fires. Open up Alcatraz. And while you're at it, all the people in San Quentin that got their sentences commuted, go ahead and slap that DP right back on them. Betty Smith, she's on her son Samuel's phone, said, "These Latin men reporters are always so put together." Betty Smith. Woo. 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 Linda, again, also remember, if I showcase your comments, send me an email, you go into a drawing. Linda said, "I believe she's an idiot. And she has been abused so much by him that she's afraid to say anything, even though I don't know if she realizes that he's been saying things. But however, all we can do is pray that she will finally give up what she knows for the baby's sake. I could not live with myself knowing that I allowed that to happen to my child, but alone throwing him in the dumpster or wherever they threw him. I still believe in my heart that the fire across the street was to get rid of his remains. I don't doubt anything." Oh, Betty Smith is back in here. She loves the Latin reporters. Look at that. She just said, "So cute." Betty liking them. Betty liking those sharp-dressed men's. The menses. She likes it. I think Rebecca's evil AF. And I think what's going to happen is they are going to, when she gets her public defender, it's more than likely going to be a woman that is a huge domestic violence attorney. That's going to be her defense. It's going to take them a while to convince her that that's the road she needs to go. And remember, different strokes for different folks. I don't know what they're going to do in California. Without a body, I know some people are going to argue, they might get this down to manslaughter. Jake walks in 15 years. I don't know. I really hope what they said in the press conference, they have a good idea where his remains are and they're investigating that part of it. I really hope they find him for many reasons, not just the case. He needs a final resting place. Oh, okay. I don't know who this person is. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Deanfee, the Lima story has been defunct. You're spreading false information. Who is spreading false information? Jake. Okay? On the Tira is not making shit up. He's not. Brian Enton believes his source, who has a source. He's not making anything up. These people are not making things up. They're repeating what is coming from Jake. Let's start with On the Tira before I get to the stupid shit Jake is doing now. On the Tira was told to stay away from this case. Very rude, considering, in my opinion, he has brought a lot to the table. A lot to the table. And in a fit of anger, he said he doesn't want them using anything he's brought to him. Well, that's just called being mad. That's just called being frustrated. I don't think he really means that, because Emanuel obviously means a lot to him. And either way, they're going to do whatever they wanted to do. And I think he's done a great job, and I feel very bad that anybody is saying these things about him. I call it pure jealousy.
I'm going to continue with the case because even this morning, somebody sent me a lead regarding Hector Haro and Emanuel and the possibility if I could go look at the grave. And I just thought to myself, I'm going to respect the decision of the Riverside County and San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department and the DA's office and reframe. I am moving into the commentary portion of this investigation, and I will help any way in that sense But any further leads that you have regarding anything, the police have now said that they do know where he is presumed to be, the area, and I believe them.
I believe them too. And I think the reason, now this is just what I'm thinking, I don't know these people, I don't work there, that they are telling on the Tira to back away is because when they actually go to retrieve the remains, they don't want any news out there. Also, I think their ass hurt because they don't like that he has shown them up. I'm telling you, they don't like that. They look like asshats.
I believe that may be the Badlands where we seen Jake, because they were searching both sides of the freeway. Now, I don't know if I contaminated any evidence by going down there, but I went down there after they did. So if there was any evidence to be protected, they should have left the deputy down there to protect the integrity of the investigation, but they didn't do so. So don't blame me when you have places that are of valuable tips, and then blame the public for going down there when you didn't set up a perimeter. But I digress, homie. Any further information, please send it to...
Oh my God, he cracks me up. But I digress, homie, because you didn't set up a perimeter. So people don't need to accuse him of contaminating anything. No way. He goes, but I digress, homie. You didn't protect any of the crime scenes. Okay? You didn't know about the fire across the street. But I digress, homie.
To the authorities involved, and I will now just put my commentary. If you fools want to know, or if you fools do have leads, send it to the Judas, homie. Ahmed Belloso, the full information officer. Rest your head, Holmes, because little Manuel is not going to be found. Unfortunately, we are 2 weeks out of the investigation. His little bones could not have withstood the wildlife on the Tira. And so if in fact we do find him in any capacity, it ain't going to be in the form that you and I want him to be found. And so that is why the police are telling you that they do know that he is gone, but they do know that they haven't found the body either. But I also know that people want answers, and there should be a liaison between the community and the authorities, so that in fact those of us who are out here pushing real stories, this is the new wave of social media. The old brands of conventional streaming is out, and so you have to either get with the times or get behind. And if you're going to try to run for position of this beautiful state of California, it starts here in Riverside, San Bernardino, all the way up to Sacramento. And so if you can't do it, move over, homie, so somebody else can. No disrespect intended, but you are not my concern.
No. I say he should run for governor. Run for governor. Even though he wouldn't be elected, shake up the system. If you lived in California, would you vote homie for governor? I would. I get stuff on my phone all the time, a text message. Brooks, do you have $5? And it's always some political campaign. I reply every time. Not on me. Do you? I could use $5. What are you calling me about $5 for? Don't you have enough constituents? Political donors and stuff? What you doing asking me? I always respond. Not on me, but I could use $5. Can you send me $5? But I would donate to his campaign. I would.
Concern. Emanuel Arro is. And so Ahmed Belloso, I pray he is found, but I really don't think it's going to happen, homie. Spencer.
Bless him. Bless him. Bless him. Oh, yeah. Try it, Frank. We get that stuff all the time. I just have a canned answer. Send it to me. Send me some money. All right, we're going to go back just a little bit to where the DA was chastising the judge. Still not real happy with that press conference. I thought it was grim. I thought it was rude. I thought that the public's interest in this little baby was overlooked, and I felt a lack of empathy. I was feeling a lot of don't blame us, don't blame us, don't blame us. And in all reality, had the judge done his job and the DA, Emanuel would have never been born. Okay? That's a horrible thing to say, but it's the truth. He would never have been born. That press conference was passing the buck. Passing the buck 101.
Breaking news, prosecutors say the father of a missing 7-month-old boy should have already been in prison before he allegedly killed his infant son. Thank you for joining us for the KTLA 5 News at noon. I'm Lou Parker.
And I'm Lauren Lister. Glenn Walker has the day off. Law enforcement officials are sharing new details about the Inland Empire couple accused of killing their young child.
KTLA 5's Jillian Smuckler is live in Riverside.
This is from KTLA out of Hollywood. I do not work for KTLA. My name is not Jillian. I've never been to Riverside, California. Nope. 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 So I don't want Nick upset. I have to keep Nick happy.
With the very latest. Jillian.
Hi, Lou and Lauren. Yeah, the biggest development that came out of that press conference a short time ago was that law enforcement has a pretty good idea of where Emanuel Haro's remains are. They wouldn't go into detail because they're worried it will hinder the investigation, but they say there's a good amount of evidence leading them to search a specific area. What I can tell you is a lot.
The good amount of evidence is probably going to be their geofencing, and they're going to take some crumbs out of Jake's BS, because within lies some truth.
Questions were asked today that kind of painted a better picture of why they're narrowing down the search and why both Jake and Rebecca Haro, Emanuel's parents, are facing the charges that they are. So take a look at this video right here. This was from the joint press conference where they discussed the case. They say there's a huge amount of evidence that Jake and Rebecca Haro faked the child's kidnapping nearly 2 weeks ago. They wouldn't elaborate on what that evidence is, but they say it proves Emanuel was severely abused over a period of time, and that both parents would have known about that abuse. They described the baby's father, Jake, as an experienced child abuser, and they say he should have gone to prison for his last child abuse case. Now, a judge granted Jake probation, which is a ruling they call outrageous and detrimental to the current case.
I don't think anyone expected them at the press conference to say, oh, we have a good idea where he's at. So if anybody wants to help, get a shovel, get your cell phone, and meet us. No, I think they want it under wraps because they don't want it live. They don't. They don't. There's too many Zav girls out there. There's too many Zav girls out there. And I agree with my friend Angie Baby that said, don't throw every YouTuber with the same brush. Yeah, don't paint everybody with the same brush. I see these Facebook groups and they're like, we're only allowing media, information from the media. Let me tell you what, I trust certain YouTubers more than government censored and government funded media jerk-offs. But hey, that's just me. That's just me. Some YouTubers, I see somebody tries to put something through and I'm just like, oh, hell no. Hell no. Hell no. I'm about preserving life, not wasting it on these freaking scumbags. Like damn Joseph Morris and a few of them. Fuck no. Sit there and talk about that shit? Hey, don't forget, Halloween's right around the corner. And your old buddy Brooks has a superb costume picked out. You don't want to miss it.
when we talk about why we're here in the first place, that we believe someone murdered baby Emanuel, who should still be in prison, but we have this unbelievable love for criminals, believing that they're somehow victims, and now we're all traumatized by it.
That judge had done his job as he should have done, Emanuel would be alive today. And that's a shame, and it's an outrage.
Now, sources told News Nation that Jake Haro made a chilling confession to a fake inmate posed as his cellmate. Now, those sources say Jake admitted to killing his son Emanuel and dumping his body in a trash can at his home. Now, I did ask about those reports.
Breaking news from Angie, baby. She said, I bet LKR got their number. Oh. You know, I'm shocked as shit that LKR, Lisa K. Ruitz, hasn't changed her name to Lisa K. Haro and changed her high school to Riverside, California, and isn't currently saying Jake and Rebecca didn't do anything. I'm very shocked. Very disappointed. I was really looking forward to that. She knows everybody. Yes, Lisa K. Haro. I was waiting on it. Went to school with them. Don't blame the grandma. Don't blame the step-grandfather that was given tours, all that stuff. Oh, yeah. She's behind.
During that press conference, and the district attorney denied that happened, saying there's been no confession made in jail from either parent. We also asked about what, if anything, the parents have said to investigators thus far, including what brought them to that specific area that was searched over the weekend. They said there's been some level of cooperation from the parents, but they wouldn't go into detail about what exactly was said. Now, they said there has been hundreds of hours spent going through some of that forensic data and also combing the area, but they say they cannot tell us exactly what is leading to that search area. Again, they do say they had to get the search warrants, the forensic data helped them in this investigation. But again, hours spent searching for baby Emanuel's body, who they believe is now dead. Now, Rebecca and Jake Haro are also charged with filing a fake police report. They said really that's the reason they were having this press conference to begin with. They said the couple came out 2 weeks ago and they claimed their baby was kidnapped, which they found is not true. They say there's a lot of evidence that suggests otherwise. So they say they wanted to come out here, debunk some of the rumors that are circulating about the case. Obviously, it's getting a lot of attention nationwide from people near and far, just hoping that baby is found. But those charges that the parents are facing, they carry a minimum sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole. One more thing I do want to mention that is during that press conference, they said the death penalty is actually not on the table. So before we reported that being charged murder with malice qualifies for the death penalty, but it doesn't appear that prosecutors will be seeking that in this case. The DA says they're not offering a plea deal to either defendant. They want a trial and they want justice for the family. Of course, we'll keep you updated if there's any developments in this case. But for now, reporting live in Riverside, Jillian Smuckler, KTLA 5 News.
Okay. So they're saying death penalty is not going to happen. Shocker. Shocker. But this is, I just did a little Google, you know, teet, 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 boop, 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 bop, bop, bop on the computer. How many years is a life sentence in California? We learned this with the West Boys case, Cal City. We learned this. They said it out loud. A life sentence in California can mean life with or without the possibility of parole. A life sentence with possibility of parole is typically X to life, such as 15 to life or 25 to life. A life sentence without parole, LWOP, means the individual will spend the rest of their life in prison and is not eligible for release. Well, I hope they get the LWOP and not the just sentence to life. I think they're going to be a lot less strict on Rebecca. I just have that feeling. I might be wrong, but that's how I'm feeling. And good old Jake the jokester, the one that's got all these people pointing fingers. This one lied, this one lied, this one lied, this one lied. I've caught on the Tira lying over and over and over. Where'd this person even come from? He lives there, homie. He lives there, homie. He's got a good thing going over there on his TikTok, his old TikTok. He's doing great. Brian Enton, everyone knows who News Daddy is. These people are not lying, okay? Jake is the puppeteer. We have heard dumpster, trash can, saws, lime, accidentally rolled over in bed. We have a shallow grave out in the Badlands, so he has a place to mourn. He is the one spinning all this. All this backbiting and stuff is not helping. Remember, Jake and Rebecca are the bad people here. And I'm going to say a few others. But the ones that we know are Jake and Rebecca. Bad people.
For baby Emanuel in the Inland Empire, this roughly 2 weeks after he was reported missing. Thanks again for joining us here on ABC 7 Hulu and wherever you stream. I'm David Ono.
And I'm Giovanna Latta. Now the baby's father is speaking out from his jail cell. Investigators claiming the baby died from child abuse, even though no remains have been found.
A search off Highway 60 turned up nothing. Inland Empire reporter Leticia Juarez has been following the case from the beginning and now joins us live. Leticia.
Well, David and Giovanna, Jake Haro is speaking publicly for the first time since.
Off topic, I love her dress. I love that color. Our bedroom is a peacock theme, and our curtains are the color of that dress. Obviously, the dress looks better on her than it does hanging in my window, but I love that color. It's very hard to find that color.
His arrest last week in a jailhouse interview with the Southern California News Group, but in that interview, he would not say what part, if any, he played in his son's disappearance.
The search for 7-month-old Emanuel Haro continues as his parents Jake and Rebecca Haro sit in jail charged with his murder.
Baby Emanuel was abused, victim of child abuse.
Jake said, no, he wasn't. So who's lying? The DA or Jake? I'm guessing Jake. Okay? I'm guessing Jake. Again.
Over time, and that eventually, because of that abuse, he succumbed to those injuries.
Yesterday, San Bernardino and Riverside County law enforcement briefed the public on the case. On the same day, Jake Haro gave a jailhouse interview to the Southern California News Group, denying Emanuel was abused. He acknowledged the public's outrage, saying, "God is with us. The allegations are horrendous, so of course people are going to be riled up." But investigators say Emanuel's August 14th abduction from a Yucaipa parking lot was fabricated.
There's a tremendous amount of evidence to suggest that the initial story posed was not the correct story.
It was not the correct story. Everybody, give internet kisses to Jinbug. She's getting ready to go on vacation for her 3-day weekend and to celebrate her daughter's birthday. Safe travels. Send me a postcard. We love you, Jinbug. Mwah! All right. So Jake the fake, Jake the snake, Jake the jokester, Tinder buns, whatever you want to call him. Oh, he wasn't abused. He wasn't abused. So now I'm just waiting for people to come out and go, why did the DA say that? When Jake said that his son wasn't abused, the DA's lying, just like Brian Minton's lying, just like On the Tier is lying, just like all these people are lying. Come on. Brain.
California News Group denying Emanuel was abused. He acknowledged the public's outrage, saying, "God is with us. The allegations are horrendous, so of course people are going to be riled up."
God is with us, he said. The allegations are horrendous, so of course people are going to be riled up. Oh. Words of wisdom from Jake.
But investigators say Emanuel's August 14th abduction from a Yucaipa parking lot was fabricated.
There's a tremendous amount of evidence to suggest that the initial story posed was not the correct story.
It is so blasphemous. All right, there's your $5 word for the day. Blasphemous for him to even bring up God. God is with us. Buddy, that is blasphemy. You don't get to talk about God. If you really had God in your heart, you'd be singing like a canary. You have pissed off Jesus, and that's almost impossible to do because he's the nicest in the world ever on this planet. God is not with you, and you have pissed off Jesus. That is one family you don't want to upset. Way to go, Jake. Way to go.
Following their arrest, it appeared investigators were closing in on Emanuel's remains when Jake Haro accompanied deputies.
You could eat cereal out of the dimples in her freaking thighs. Those cottage cheese thighs gross me the fuck out. Get that bitch some leggings.
With cadaver dogs to a remote area off the 60 freeway just east of Moreno Valley. But that search yielded nothing.
So was that just him just trying to divert the attention as to where he really went?
Moses Castillo is a private investigator and a retired LAPD detective. He says without Emanuel's body, prosecutors may face challenges.
One of the charges that I hope that they consider adding is child abuse causing death. But the reason why it's so important to have that charge is that without a body, you're not going to get a true cause of death or manner of death.
The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department.
Now, mind you, this dude's a private investigator. No offense to private investigators, but they don't have access to forensics. I think what they have found in the house right off the bat led them to believe, once they got back from the lab, it's Emanuel's blood. They knew right off the bat there was serious abuse going on in that house. Then you base it on his history with his daughter, which with his jailhouse interviews, he never brings up Carolina, whose name now is Promise. He seems to skip over that part of his past.
Is leading the investigation with Riverside County. Their goal, justice for baby Emanuel.
A no-body homicide is always difficult, but it's a little different when you're talking about an infant.
Now, both the Haros will be back in court next Thursday. They're being held on $1 million bail. Their arraignment is set for that Thursday, in which they'll be formally charged with those. They had to be postponed from Tuesday because they did not have an attorney yet. Reporting live here in Riverside, Leticia Juarez, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
All right. Susan said, I heard he had another child that he hurt. I heard that too. And remember, there's another investigation going on. I don't know what child they're talking about. I don't really need to know. But there's also an open investigation of child abuse, a different address. That name's Jake and Rebecca. These people are sick. They are sick. They're sick. All right. Beachfield's about to have a coronary talking about this. And every time I see the flyer, I about lose my mind. Please contact Dad, Jake. That number didn't work. Mother, Rebecca. Missing kid, Emanuel Haro, 7 months old. Not 7.5, not 7 months and 23 days. They don't even have a birth date. People are still all over the place, saying that he could be older, he could be younger. Would not shock me at all. But they did not make these flyers before their stupid interview they had been made before.
That red jailhouse jumpsuit is actually not just an accidental color. It's bright red to separate him from other inmates and show he's a seg inmate, that the ones who are segregated and high risk for violence from other inmates have to wear the bright red. So it's pretty fascinating. Clearly, they have their eyes on what they think he's all about. So he's at the Larry D. Smith Correctional Facility. The video link conversation with the reporter was, 45 minutes or so. He says that he's cooperating. I wonder if that means I'm cooperating. I led them out to Highway 60, which everybody now pretty much presumes is a boondoggle.
Yeah, I think, again, you're with a large majority of people. He claims he's been completely cooperative with investigators, but he wouldn't go into detail. He was pressed multiple times on whether he led authorities to that remote area you just mentioned. You're looking at that video. On Sunday, when he was spotted with some of those investigators out there, he said he wants to talk about it, but he can't. Again, he mentioned his attorney saying, do not talk to the press. So, without saying much, he's like, I've been cooperative, but he wouldn't really give us any other details as to the disappearance of his baby boy.
But there he was.
Part of the interview, he said, I love you, buddy. I love you, buddy. I'm like, what? Country Diva said he definitely has a pattern. Yes, he does. Danny Dane said, I think it's funny the dummies had to have their numbers disconnected. Oh, me too. And don't think I wasn't calling every 2 seconds. I was texting old Jake and Rebecca, trying to add them on Facebook. Had my StreamYard ready to talk to them.
Was happy as a clam to talk about the last time he beat up a child, which was his own, a 10-week-old. And if anyone out there doesn't have children or has never had a baby, at 10 weeks, they're just the size of like a couple of sticks of butter. They're so tiny and so completely helpless. So to think that this child was left permanently disabled from the injury.
Mr. Quinn, so glad you're here. Thank you, Brooks, for also believing Jake making stuff up. He is. The proof is in the pudding. So there's a few YouTubers that are just having a field day pointing fingers to On the Tira, Brian Etten, and others, and connect the dots. Look at the spider web. What's in the middle? It's Jake. Jake is the one saying all this stuff. Jake is the one that talked to the fake cop. Jake is the one that talked to the news yesterday. Jake. I don't get where these people are coming from.
That she sustained. Talk to me a little bit more about what he told the reporter about that crime.
Yeah, that's the one thing he really did talk about. He talked a lot about it, and he really blamed that on why investigators, what he says, are unfairly assuming that he killed his 7-month-old. He explained exactly in his words what he said happened. He said he accidentally dropped his daughter, Carolina, on a sink divider while he was giving her a bath. But he said he didn't think she was injured. And then his wife at the time, so this isn't Rebecca, this is Vanessa, she apparently woke him up in the middle of the night and said, something's wrong with the baby. So they took her in to see the doctor. And that's when they found a multitude of injuries. There were broken bones, other serious injuries. She was an infant at the time, like you just mentioned, but ever since then, she's now, not grown up, but she's a young girl. She's been bedridden and she has cerebral palsy. And that's something.
Brain hemorrhage, retinal hemorrhage. Yeah. Bones that were healing, 10 weeks old. And it took that county from 2018 to 2021 to do anything. And then it gets, I'll say, settled in 2023. And it was a slap on the wrist. Sister Karen, thank you for the super sticker. Said, I know Connie is up there comforting all the little children. Oh. Well, we all know she is too. Because Connie Branch was a huge part of our community, just like you are, Sister Karen, and we miss her very much. That's a very sweet thing to say.
That they really brought up yesterday in that press conference, the DA was getting somewhat emotional about it because he's like, you see all of this here and still you're not, you didn't go to prison. He made a plea deal with the judge in that case. And he said, as you mentioned, it was because he couldn't afford it. So he was given a 4-year probation sentence and 180 days of community service. And when we were asked, or when the reporter asked him about that sentence, of course, he said, he called it fair, but completely different from what we heard from the DA just yesterday. He was.
Okay, I'm really glad that the girl in the very pretty purple dress, I'm all about colors, as you can tell. I love all the different colors. It's a very different thing that they said at the press conference. Blood is on hands. Not mine, not Mallory's, not Just Me's, not Diana's, not Boston, not Tree's. We know Jake didn't confess to anything. A confession is the truth. A confession is the truth. What he's doing is spinning tails. When all this went down in 2023, the district attorney definitely just walked away from it. Fingers crossed, hope he doesn't do anything again. And went on to their next case. If they were that upset about what the judge was getting ready to impose, they would have gone to a higher court. Okay? Monday morning quarterbacks are gross and rude. Trees. To whom gave me the membership, thank you. You can thank Cat OG. She gifted 10 Crime Lines and Lies memberships before I even hit the start button today. I'm 100% with this chick in purple. They knew it was wrong in 2023, and now they're saving face in 2025. We're not stupid, though. We are not stupid. That's the reason when we watched the press conference, we had to take a few breaks and go, not in my America.
Slamming that judge, and really, he didn't mince any words on that.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I got just seconds left, but I just want you to tell me what he shouted to his wife, Rebecca, because on Tuesday he said he saw her at court. What was that?
Yeah, so they've been separated this whole time. And when they arrived in court, they were put on opposite ends of the courtroom. And so apparently when he got off the elevator after the court appearance, he saw her, he shouted he loved her. And then he claims that's when a deputy allegedly shoved him to the ground. He said they...
He shouted to Rebecca, I love you, and then the deputy shoved him to the ground. Oh. Too bad they don't have jail comps, because I guarantee he would have some kind of injury. Shoved him to the ground. But also in this interview, he said, Rebecca is innocent. She loves her children. Children? So now you're saying that something also happened to the 2-year-old. Probably hurt his tailbone again. Probably hurt his coccyx. How can you hurt your ass 6 times in 11 years?
What are you doing here, Uncle Rico?
Grandma took a little spill at the sand dunes today. Broke her coccyx.
What? Since when did she go to the dunes?
Dumbass. Mallory, what is a coccyx? It's your tailbone. And by the way, it does hurt when you fall on it. Okay? It does hurt. Anybody ever slipped on ice and fell on your tailbone? Oh, it hurts. It sends like chills up to your brain. You don't know what to do. DT Driver wants to watch Napoleon Dynamite this weekend. Okay, I can make that happen. Diana goes, I bet they met lips at the dunes, I bet. If you know, you know. Frank Opinion said, I broke mine. I heard that hurts like hell. Mallory said she bruised hers and she knows it hurts bad. He did it 6 times in 11 years. 6 times. Don't forget about patella, shoulder unspecified, rib unspecified. Clumsy fuck. Clumsy fuck he is. Now he is saying, no pun intended, with all this going on, that they are framing him to be the fall guy. Very odd. Calm down, Lee Majors. By the way, The Fall Guy was a great show back in the 80s. Anyone that remembers? It's a great show. The Fall Guy. He's the fall guy. Trash cans, dumpsters, Home Depot, empty strollers, you name it. Rolled over on Emanuel. No, you're not the fall guy.
And Rebecca Harrow told police that their 7-month-old son, Emanuel, had been kidnapped by an unknown and unidentifiable attacker who knocked Rebecca out in the parking lot of a sporting goods store. Yeah, right. Which is a terrifying story that caught the attention of the nation, right? Especially when authorities in Riverside, California called it BS. As you probably know, the Harrows are both now charged with murder in their son Emanuel's disappearance. They're also charged with lying. Not to us, but to the police, because that is a crime. And
they have lied. Well, they have lied multiple times to police. I say stack those charges high. I know the argument about the false police report, it's a misdemeanor in California. They're like, well, that only adds like 12 months. That only adds like 12 months to Rebecca's sentence. It's still 12 freaking months. I don't care if it's 12 minutes. Get on it.
weeks later, there's still no trace of baby Emanuel, who police now say may have been killed as early as August 5th. And through it all, both of these suspects remarkably cannot seem to stop telling stories. Last weekend, Rebecca gave a jailhouse interview professing the couple's innocence and declaring Jake a good dad.
A good dad? He's a good dad.
Who would never hurt a baby.
Hey, I'm not buying it. I missed you coming in. I'm sorry. Good morning, sweetheart. Well, afternoon for you. Jake would never hurt a baby. Jake's only on probation for almost killing a baby. But he's the fall guy.
Though, as we all know, he did hurt a baby, almost killed her. In 2018, he sent his own 10-week-old daughter to the hospital with life-altering injuries. She's now 7 and has been unable to feed herself or look after herself ever since.
Look at these boxers and his little wiener bouncing around. Yeah, that's the fall guy. That's the fall guy. All right, we got to have a music break. I'm about to piss myself. Really. He's the fall guy in all this.
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with fire up. I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine, I've been on fire with Sally Field, gone past with a girl named Mo. But somehow they just don't end up
That don't look like Jake.
as mine. It's a death-defying life I
No, Jake would hurt his tailbone. Jake would hurt his tailbone if he did this.
I take my chances. I die for living in the movies and TV.
Oh, Jake would definitely have a work comp claim with this. Oh no, Jake. He'd have a little wiener burn with this one. Could you imagine?
But the hardest thing I ever do is watch my leading ladies.
Yep, that would hurt Jake's patella.
Kiss some other guy while I'm bandaging my knee. I might fall from a tall building. I might roll a brand new car. Cause I'm the unknown stuntman that made Redford such a star. I've never spent much time in school, but I taught ladies plenty. It's true, I hire my body out for pay. Hey, I've gotten burned over Cheryl Teague's, blown up for Raquel Welch.
That would hurt Jake. That would hurt Jake. That would definitely hurt Jake's tailbone. His coccyx would be really burnt.
But when I wind up in the hay, it's only hay. Hey, I might jump an open drawbridge or Tarzan from a vine. Cause I'm the unknown stuntman that makes Eastwood look so fine.
Poor Jake. Poor Jake. Danny Dane, are you going to CrimeCon this year, Brooks? No, I'm going next year. I have a feeling it's going to be in Dallas. Can't make it to Denver this year. Wish I could, but I can't.
And now it's apparently Jake's turn to talk to a reporter from jail. A different jail than Rebecca's for sure, but undoubtedly he's flouting the same advice that her lawyer must have given her, which is, don't talk to anyone but me. You're in trouble. In Jake's interview, he didn't specifically declare himself innocent, but he did say he was being, quote, completely.
Can we have a round of applause for my husband? He just gifted 10 Crime Lines and Lies memberships. Thank you so much for doing that, sweetheart. And especially welcome Nicolina, who just received a free membership. Thank you, honey. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome all our new friends.
Cooperative with investigators. I think that part, that's in the eye of the beholder. But he stated flat out to the reporter, and I quote, Rebecca is innocent. She loves her children.
Rebecca's innocent. She loves her children. Okay.
He said the DA's theory that baby Emanuel suffered long-term abuse that led to his death, not true at all, quote unquote, not true at all. But he didn't offer any new accounts of where his son might be or where his son's remains might be to that reporter, that is. To other people, he's told at least 2 different stories. A source tells News Nation that after the Harrows were arrested, Jake told the police that he rolled over on Emanuel while he was sleeping, accidentally killing the baby, and then, inexplicably, decided to just bury his son's body, you know, in the desert off a highway. Because when you have an accident in bed like that, you're going to just bury your beloved baby just in an unmarked grave.
And take your truck to the car wash and request that the stroller that Rebecca, who loves her children, she has been walking around with an empty stroller for some time. Very strange. And you want it to be power washed with the car wash as well. Yeah.
Somewhere off the highway. That's what we figure led to this arrest, right? And then, of course, Sunday's total boondoggle in the grass there, where an alleged child killer accompanies police on an hours-long search in a field alongside said freeway, Highway 60. Wouldn't you know it? This here search didn't turn up anything. Nothing. Weird, right? Because like they had cadaver dogs and everything, because if you had dropped that baby there, even if the wildlife had gotten to the baby, the cadaver dogs would have noticed something.
Proven fact. That's why when Jinbug and I were going back and forth about this on Sunday, I said, no offense to On the Tira, because I guarantee he heard something and saw something that led him to believe that they were on to something. No, those things happen. Quit picking on this man. But when they don't bring out a forensic anthropologist and they don't bring out the medical examiner, it is called a wild goose chase. He just got himself a free good cup of coffee. Thank you, state of California. And a field trip.
And they didn't. And maybe that is because of the next story that Jake told us all. Our Brian Enton learned that while behind bars, Jake told a fake inmate, either a police officer or a civilian informant in disguise, that he was the one who in fact killed his own son and put the child's body in a trash can. It's what you call a Perkins operation, when you infiltrate the jail with a jailhouse snitch, another inmate, or an actual police officer dressed up as an inmate. And you just get the guy talking. They said that's what happened with Jake Harrow. He just talked. That would complicate the search enormously, right? If what he said to this so-called inmate was true, especially if it happened 3 weeks ago. But the DA said just yesterday that he's got a pretty strong idea of where police should be looking for Emanuel's body. And I say body because the police assume the child has been murdered, hence the murder charges. And as for that prior conviction for willful child cruelty, which left Jake's tiny victim permanently disabled, Jake told the reporter that he pleaded guilty because, and I quote, I didn't have the money to go to trial. I didn't have the money to go to trial.
I knew it. I knew weekend DJ lawyer. I knew it. I don't have the money to go to trial. Well, no, broke ass, because you're just Jake's buddy. You're a paperwork attorney. I'm sure he does some important work, but you're a paperwork attorney. No way. No way. Does he have the manpower, the time, or like he said, the money to defend this? No way. So of course he stepped away. And now they have to throw themselves to the mercy of the court and get a public defender. And Rebecca's, I'm telling you, is going to run with domestic violence.
He also said he was sick of court and that the judge knows I didn't do it. They just railroaded me. I was the fall guy. Quote,
I was the fall guy.
Unquote. And that might just be his biggest lie of all. Because as we all know from cop shows, when they read you your Miranda rights, you're told that you have the right to an attorney. And if you cannot afford one will be provided to you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe.
And they also tell you, you have the right to STFU. Shut the fuck up. You don't have to say a word. And all Jake is doing is chasing his own tail. Running in circles. One story after another. All right. I do not blame for all On the Tira for being so mad at TMZ for the things they said about him. Personally, myself, you don't have to like him. I don't know the guy. I know nothing about him. I understand that he had some things going on in his past. Well, that's his past. I could care less. He is battling cancer. God's daughter, very good question. wondering if Jake and Rebecca was wanting to claim disability benefits for baby Emanuel. That's a very good question, and I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't come out in court. Got to go to a doctor for that. Now, Jake's daughter, the one he abused horrifically, tortured in 2018, she definitely gets disability benefits. And I'm telling you what, they all go to good use because she has feeding tubes, has to see doctors often. She has a lot going on.
People like me who have 5 felonies, and then to finally turn their life around and really give it an honest shot. And then I got people like you who have all the fucking money in the world and you don't give a fuck about nothing. Sorry.
Yo, Cuba.
Okay, this is from Hoodwise. I'm really enjoying this channel. And TMZ had no reason to mess with homie. Riverside Sheriff's Department saying to homie, step down. I think it's because they didn't want him out there live with what they got going on. Miss K, thank you for the super sticker. I'm blushing. I need to turn my camera on. I'm blushing. You guys have absolutely no idea how much your donations mean to keep the channel going. Hell, you don't know how much it means just to show up and talk about these cases. Thank you so much. Yelling at Rebecca, I love you. And the deputy throws him to the floor. Oh my God. The fall guy.
Yeah, man. So the latest, the homie Flyboy Ahmed Medvedioso getting attacked by TMZ, Walmart. That's not cool, man.
Okay, so guys, before we go on, we just got to give people notes on the floor. There's like way too much commotion.
Yeah, we're having.
Yeah, I just turn that thing. Reagan, I think I got so distracted by what was going on.
Let's dip out for a couple minutes while we change the battery.
Okay, change the battery.
This man, I seen him work hard to get his channel to where it's at. This man works hard, man, too hard, considering he has cancer, the struggle, money, bills, supporting his family, and for TMZ, a multi-million-dollar company, and Walmart and Fox News to come and try to demolish this man, no bueno.
The devil tries to come and attack.
Can someone explain to me why Walmart would be upset with what Tira's doing? We all know the devil doesn't like the truth and doesn't like people working for the truth. Chicken Lady, I'm so glad you're here. Girl, where have you been? I haven't seen you in forever and a day. Walmart's been pulling a lot of shit in California, so I wouldn't be shocked at all if they didn't somehow have something to do with trying to get him shut down.
No bueno.
The devil tries to come and attack my integrity. The devil tries to attack my constituents. Not only you, he's not only attacking me, he's attacking you, because the devil in this form, TMZ is the devil. TMZ is the devil. TMZ is the devil, homie, in this case, because since then I have been intimidated. Since this morning I have received death threats. Since this morning I feel like my health has now deteriorated just a little bit because I've just been so frail. I've been crying. He has made me emotionally distressed. He has slandered my name. He has put me in fear of my life. All because he wanted to attack me verbally. He wanted to discredit me. He wanted to intimidate me. And this is not the first time. He tried intimidating me the first time. And I didn't say nothing about it when he hit me with cease and desist on Food News Network. Why? I don't know. Maybe I took one of his posts fine. He never got at me. If anything, I was a supporter. And now I see that the devil is all in TMZ, and maybe that's why it's a failing show. Maybe that's why God has anointed me and put me in the position to come after TMZ the same way they came after me, bro. When I'm focused on Emanuel and the devil right here. You could have got at me, dog, and we could have worked together somehow to bring awareness, but instead, all you do is you try to cut people down. You try to break up marriages. You try to destroy families. You destroy people's credibilities. Whoever you decide that you don't want around, whoever you feel threatened by, then you're all of a sudden the Alibaba, you're the red line in the sand. Man, go on, yeah.
That's one of the best rants I've ever heard. TMZ needs to go back to just talking about the damn Kardashians, because personally, I don't care about them, and talking about Blake Lively and whoever she's bickering with this week, or Taylor and Travis getting married. No. Don't be picking on the little people. That's like with Nick from Spokane. Thought he was going to fuck me up. Well, thanks to John, that works for the law firm in Southern Oklahoma, Colgate, Oklahoma, and Cat OG, we fought the shit out of that. And guess what, my friends? We won. We won. Let's have a round of applause for us, because we won. TMZ can suck Rebecca's toothpick. And we saw that thing bouncing around when old Jake walked out getting arrested in his boxer shorts. Harvey, you got your start on the People's Court interviewing people after Judge Wapner made his ruling. Okay? That's how you started. You were a failed lawyer and you are picking on this man? That's horrible. Horrible.
Defamation of character, bro. The audacity to call me an amateur when I was the only reporter there.
We gotta lots of people come together, man, and go over there and unite and support the homie on the tira. You know, he's come a long ways, man. He's passionate on what he does, and man, I tip my hat. Full support, man. I tip my hat, man. That man is doing a great job. So with that said, I just wanted to come on real quick and voice my opinion. I'm gonna get a video together and try to elaborate more on Mr. Ahmed, Mr. Andatira. And for those of you that don't know who he is, stay tuned. I'll be having, I'm gonna put a video together so you guys could see.
Yeah. They need to leave him alone. He didn't do anything. But he was asked, this is from Slugstown, check them out. They have great work too. He was asked to step away. Well, we heard at the very beginning of the show, he said he's not stepping away.
You boys coming through once again. And on today's video, we're going to talk about Ahmed Belloso. This is the face of the channel on the tira. He has a TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube channel. The guy is front and center when it comes down to the case of Emanuel Haro. This person is very dedicated to this case. He's been doing his own investigation. He's been present on every scene, and he's been informing the people of what's going on, right? A little bit of background on Ahmed Belloso. He was in prison. He came out, and at least he's trying to do something out of his life, right? Instead of just being out there on the calles, valiendo shits. Nah, he's doing his thing. Started this channel, and he's doing pretty well, man. Hundreds of thousands of subscribers, followers, whatever the case might be. He's doing his thing. Now, he's getting a little backlash. It's not from the gente, it's not from the people, right? He's getting backlash from the department and from news outlets, TMC to be specific, right? Trying to bring him down. They're trying to discredit his professionalism, his reporting and stuff like that. And that's not cool, man. That's not cool when this man is just trying to inform the people and actually trying to is very invested in this case. If it wasn't for him, I don't think this case would be as public as it is, man. This guy has basically put a spotlight to this case, and thank you for that. Thank you for that, because that kid was a Hispanic kid, and we know that, like, 10 out of 10, that kid would not be. I mean, nobody would be speaking about that kid. Simple as that, man. Just keeping it 100, you know. So yesterday, when they had that press conference, right, the detectives or the sheriff department, whatever the case was, they invited all these big news outlets, right? NBC, CNN, Fox, everybody, so they can go over there, ask their questions, and so they can basically confirm that the parents, Rebecca and Jake Harrell, were officially charged with the 187, right? Oh, and of course, they're gonna ask questions, the questions that the people want to know.
Maybe also on the Tira, I've been working this case diligently. I have a two-part question.
No, one question, sir.
Okay,
one question.
One question, thank you. Did you say that you do know where the remains are?
I didn't say that, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry, forgive me.
I didn't say I know where the remains are.
Can you tell us, in fact, a little?
So I'll start here on the front row. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Stephanie with CNN. My question is, first of all, do you have any idea where baby Emanuel is at this point?
You know, yes, we have a pretty strong indication of where the remains of baby Emanuel are. So that investigation is ongoing at this time. Yes, go ahead.
Now, talk a little more details, so that if you do know anything tonight, so I can start looking. Please, because I'm here to no disrespect to me. I understand who you are. But can you please, if you have information here where you know something, can you please?
Okay, that's a lot of background noise for me.
Not everybody does it for the money. And because of these people who are throwing bogus ass stories to the people, brainwashing the people, having the people believe that what they're saying is true, the detectives are upset about that, right? Because he said, do not believe the keyboard warriors, right? That's how he named these people who are actually creating this.
Keyboard warriors. Keyboard warriors. You know, that's the kind of stuff that Lisa K. Ruitt says. Lisa K. Harrow. She's always using words like that. Tragedy pimp. Tragedy pimp. Grifter. I hate grifters. Keyboard warriors. Then to hear a professional say these keyboard warriors, and I'm like, well, then you should have been keyboarding. You should have been investigating. You have been in the sheriff's office forever in a day. Do not tell me that you never thought once that it was a bad idea for Jake to get that slap on the hand, and that no one thought to alert Child Protective Services to follow up with him, because there was never anything put in that paperwork to say that Jake can't see children. It was never framed that way. It was never framed that way. Diana Howry, ooh, spanking time for you. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Woo, this is amazing. Buckeye Gal, look at that. Growing the family. You guys are amazing. Grab your umbrellas.
It's fake narrative, right? Like when I see a story, I talk about it, but I express my doubts. You know, like the one I put yesterday. I express my doubts. I like, you know what? Like being in locked up in prison, I know how stuff work. Jake is not the first time in jail, so he should know what to do, what not to say, right?
Jake has never served what people would call hard time. I'm sure Jake's done his 24-hour stint. I'm sure Jake has done his bookend, get your picture taken and go back home. He's never done hard time. He's never done hard time. This is a guy that has fallen on his ass and hurt his coccyx 6 times in the last 11 years. He had 2 work comp claims open when he horrifically abused his daughter in 2018. He has 2 open now. That's one tricky tailbone, my friends. That is one tricky tailbone. Buckeye gal, you are look at this. Woo! Buckeye gal, new YouTube member, and gifting those memberships. Y'all say thank you. Thank you to Buckeye gal. All these new members, I think I owe you all a members live. What do you think about a Labor Day live just for members? You tell me, because I know it's a busy weekend.
So for somebody to come with that, oh, there's inmate X or somebody who was playing the role of inmate, getting all this information out of Jake, I was like, man, that's too quick. Like, how can Jake be confined his doing to somebody he only met for a week? It does not make sense, right? That's in my opinion, right? I told the story, but I expressed my feeling, right? My feeling. Other people told the story and defended that. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter who say that. At the end of the day, everything is coming from a source that we don't know. And once it comes from that source, you don't know if that information is valid or not. And they're just keeping it real, you know? And on the tira, actually put the perfect example. Like, how are you gonna put me on the same category as all these different channels, platforms who are spreading bogus information, right? How can you do that? It's basically, he said, it's like me putting you guys on the same boat as every police officer who's been involved in shady stuff. You know, you can't do that. In every, like you said, and everything, and every plato, there's gonna be bad apples and good apples. That's how you have to see it, man. Not everybody is the same. And at the end of the day, the only people that can judge that is the viewers. It is your responsibility, man, as a viewer, to give that view to a person who is credible and who you know is not gonna feed your lies. Because once you give that power to a person who's just throwing bogus information, give them those views, pushing that channel, pushing that video, this person's gonna be motivated to be like, yo, you know what? This one did pretty well. I lied about it, but the people seen it, the people liked it. Let me do it again. That's how I feel that those guys might feel about the case. But at the end of the day, man, shout outs to On the Tira, Amen Belloso.
I wish I could say it that way. I've been corrected on it a few times. I can't, I have a different accent. I'm from Oklahoma. I always say Tira. Well, let's see how he says it again. I'll practice it. I've almost got Gaelic's accent down.
Those views, pushing that channel, pushing that video, this person's going to be motivated to be like, yo, you know what? This one did pretty well. I lied about it, but the people seen it. The people liked it. Let me do it again. That's how I feel that those guys might feel about the case. But at the end of the day, man, shout outs to On the Tira, Amen Belloso. His great work, what he's doing is an excellent thing. And don't let nobody, man, don't let nobody tell you otherwise. You're doing a good job.
He's doing a great job. He's doing a great job. Well, hello, Candy. She said, Brooks, watch you a lot in the bushes. Well, now you're here. You're out of the bushes. What's going on in the bushes, Candy? I've always wondered that. Always wonder what goes on in the bushes at the CLL channel. If you're in the bushes, can you come out and tell me what goes on in the bushes? Do y'all make s'mores? Are you having mimosas at 10:30 in the morning? Is someone cooking brunch? What happens in the bushes? I would love to know. I would love to know. Come out and say howdy. Tell us what you do in the bushes. Kat just ruined my fun. She said, people just do their life and listen. Yes, Kat. I just want to know what they're doing. It's got to be something fun going on. When I'm in the bushes, I'm normally cleaning the house, scrubbing toilets, changing OJ's litter box because he's got this thing right now where even one little squirt of OJ pee or poo-poo, he won't use it again. So yeah, when I'm in the bushes, which obviously I'm not on our channel because, well, you hear my mouth right now. Yeah, that's what I do when I listen to other people. Melanie, my Oklahoma sister. Mine is more like brush instead of bushes. Thank you, girlfriend. Thank you, girlfriend. Pause of friendship. Love that name. TMZ should be ashamed. You got it. Stephanie Murray. Shh. Nobody tell what we do in the bushes. What happens in the bushes stays in the bushes. I love that, Stephanie. Look at that. We Scottish ma said what happens in the bushes stays in the bushes. I need to know. I need to know. Walking Dead said it's a secret. It's a secret what goes on in the bushes. Well, in my opinion, when Rebecca realized that she had her hands full with her 2-year-old, and it will come out that Jake, yes, Jake, I guarantee he abused their daughter as well. When she had Emanuel, the only way to save Emanuel is do what another mother did. Okay? This is actually an uplifting story. And I'm very happy for this family. And I'm happy for the mother that did the right thing. She did the right thing for her baby.
Allows parents to leave babies younger than 30 days old at designated safe places.
Dana Nicole said, I listen from the bushes while at work. Boo, that's no fun. I need to hear something scandalous. Like Pat K, I'm in the bushes because I'm at a nudist camp. Or Gaelic Girl, I'm in the bushes because I'm at a pub in Dublin. I need to hear something raunchy. I need to hear something real raunchy. Like, oh, I'm in the bushes because I'll get my imagination going in a minute.
2016 allows parents to leave babies younger than 30 days old at designated safe places like a firehouse or hospital. But what happens to those babies after they're dropped off? Wave News reporter Olivia Russell introduces us.
Susan, we appreciate you being here. Don't encourage Brooks. Boo, whore. Boo, whore. Gaelic Girl said, listening to a credible source. Close the airport. Oh, your airport's closed? Your airport's closed? Huh.
To Samuel in a story that's positively Wave.
Adventurous, loves snacks, and always curious.
What's that? What's that? What's that? His favorite question.
What's that? Samuel Tyler is a healthy little boy, growing fast in a year and a half. But his story made headlines when he was just a couple of days old.
He was born at home and Mom surrendered him at the fire station.
Only 3 pounds, wrapped in a blanket, with a note that said, "I love you." The Safe Infants Act allows.
Okay, I'm about to lose it. I'm about to cry my face off. This woman gave birth to her baby at home. She knew she couldn't take care of her baby, wrapped him in a blanket, put him at the fire station with a note that said, "I love you." She didn't abuse him. She didn't do she did the right thing. And that has to be the hardest thing for a woman to do. It has to be.
Parents to anonymously leave babies younger than 30 days old at a designated safe place. In this case, it was a fire station. Exactly. Chris and Brittany Tyler knew the baby boy would go to a foster home and prayed it would be their home.
I get the phone call, and it was one of those, is it it? Is it it? They told us about him, and it took no thought about, yes, we'll absolutely take him.
Samuel was in the NICU for about 2 weeks, where the Tylers were able to visit him. He was their 16th foster child, but they immediately knew he would be part of their family forever. And after more than 500 days in foster care, Samuel was adopted.
He was with us in one home the entire time. So he didn't bounce around in the system. It just took a while to get the paperwork done.
To celebrate the adoption, the family went to Build-A-Bear, and he now has his own firefighter bear.
He has his own firefighter bear. These are good people. These are good people. Samuel's adoptive parents, and some people might disagree with me, Samuel's mother, yes, I said it, is a good person because she saved his life.
While they'll likely never meet Samuel's birth mother, they know one thing for sure. He was loved, and he still is.
You know, she's a role model. She's a hero. And that'll be something that we let him know about as we talk to him about character as he grows. It's one of the things that we'll say, hey, look, this is what someone's done for you. Someone did something very selfless for you.
That's right. That's a ball.
A message of love they hope Samuel will carry with him for the rest of his life, the same way he carries his firefighter bear. In Louisville, Olivia Russell, Wave News.
Bless her, and bless them. She put her child first. We need more mothers like that. Like Rebecca. Rebecca did not put Emanuel first. Rebecca did not put her older child first. Rebecca didn't put her other much older children first. That's basically an unwritten law between women. Is it not? That's the reason on Wednesdays we say, you can't sit with us. Oh, hell no. No. That story made me tear up. It really did. I think about one of my best friends last July. Now, her daughter wasn't due, and I've known her daughter since her daughter was 2 years old. She wasn't due until September. You talk about the fight of a woman, what she went through to bring her son into the world. There was no ifs, ands, buts, nothing. Her blood pressure through the roof, eclampsia, you name it. They did a C-section, and she was right there through NICU. Another friend of mine, now her daughter is much older. We went to high school together, and I got a phone call December 31st. What was it, 1999, I think? 99, 98? Hell, I don't remember. And it was her mom saying, we're having a baby. I said, woo, the fuck? I said, she's not due till February. And what she went through to bring her daughter into the world, and now her daughter is getting married in October. And this mother is a hero. She knew she was ill-equipped. She knew it. She did the right thing. Some people will disagree with me. That's just how I look at it. Well, you guys have a great rest of your Friday. There is no second show because I got to give this house a horror's bath. You know what that means. Quick clean real quick. Because if not, old DT driver is going to think I haven't done anything all week except for talk to all of you. And we know that's a big old fat lie. We know that's a big old fat lie. Melanie's giving her house a horse bath too. Yes. Yes. Got to put on lipstick and shave my legs and shit. My goodness. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday. Have a very happy, 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 and safe Labor Day. It gets crazy out on the lakes. And all of our birthday babies, mwah, enjoy. Eat some cake for me. You guys are the absolute best. See you back here probably Monday morning. Members only. Love you. Bye.